and I'm just going to take you through how to do a consolidation of multiple files in Excel using the get data from SharePoint folder site. So, function. So, so to start off, you need to obviously get the path to those files. So, in my example, I've got a little demo environment here, and I've got a folder called multiple files, same structure, Excel. These are my 3 companies. It's financial data. I'm actually just using demo data from a package called Zero Accounting. And I'm going to copy the link. And I want the SharePoint link, and just copy that, Control C. Then I go to my Excel reporting file, which needs to sit outside of that folder. And I'm going to go from File. You should have this. If you don't have it, you might just need to increase the version of your Excel to a new version, or a license change in the Microsoft 365 stack. And if you don't have this and can't get it, then you probably have to do the from folder, which requires you to just navigate to a folder, which is a similar process. The pros of the SharePoint folder is that the files you're consolidating could be open and it still refreshes. It'll fail in from folder. The other thing is that the folder location from folder might not be the same for each user. Different map drive, if it's network, or your local drive, will have a different folder structure. So it requires a lot more fine-tuning to get it to work across multiple users, where from SharePoint's the same for every user as long as they've got rights. So I'm going to click from SharePoint user, folder. I'm going to paste that. If I hit OK there, it's going to fail. And the reason for that is that this feature doesn't need the whole path. It just needs up until the team name in SharePoint. So you're going to hit OK. That's then going to load up an example. So the one disadvantage that I wish that would fix, and I'm sure they'll still get there, is there's no filter button here. So I can't filter down to that subfolder path at this point, which is a little frustrating. And so as a result, the order here gets quite specific, and the first file, as long as it's the same type as the type you're trying to consolidate, you're going to be okay. If it's a different type, like a CSV file, and you're trying to consolidate an Excel file, you're going to get an error. And if it's like this MP4, if it was the MP4 file, it's going to say, I don't know how to consolidate these, because it can consolidate text, CSVs, PDFs, and Excel docs, etc., but not video files and stuff. So that is the one glitch. I'm sure they'll work out. We're going to click the combine button with the little triangle and choose combine and transform. Now you'll see that engine here says evaluating query. If the first one is CSV, it would be converting it to CSV. There you see it's making a connection to Excel, so it's now chosen the engine to connect. It's also using the first file to bring back information. So I'm going to just click on here and say I don't want to use the first file. I want to use company 1. It's now going to go look at company 1, and it's going to tell me you've got all of these folders. And if I click on company 1, you'll see that it still says your company 3 ledger detail. That's just the initial text file that I converted to Excel. So don't get confused. This is just the tab name. We're looking at the file name here. So if I just click on that, you'll see that I've got the sample data on the right. So now at that point, I could just, so if I could choose to skip errors as well. I generally don't, because I want to be very specific around the folder and the cleanliness of that folder being just the ones that I want. So I keep the errors just for completeness. Now it's going to load Power Query up, which is just the tool within Excel to perform these functions, and many more functions. For those of you who use Power BI, you'll notice it's quite similar. So now you'll see it's got stuck on something, and that's because there are other files in the folder structures. So we need to filter just on that list. So this shows all of this. You probably find that this MP4 is making that error. So I scroll to the right. I can see the company 1. That's the one that I want. Scroll to the right. Choose that path. Highlight it at the bottom here. Right click copy or Control C. Go here to the folder path and filter where it's equal to Yes, agree to adding a step, and paste that step in, and that'll reduce the information. So now I've got just the 3, and if I go back to the bottom now, you'll see my error way. So at the same time, I just need to make sure if the formats are right. So journal dates being seen as an ABC. So I'll just go here and I'll just go to transform, and I'll say detect data type, and that journal date's now been recognized as a date, which is great. Account code is an any, which is fine. I just changed it to text because knowing financial data with the leading zeros, I'd never wanted to by mistake think that's a number. Then scroll to the right and just check that my numbers, so then this is showing up as an amount, so as a ABC or 1, 2, 3, so that's not going to be added as a number. So again, I want to detect type, and that's now detected type as a decimal, and then again I'll just do the same again, detect type and detect type. Okay, for the rest of it, I'm happy to leave it as it is. Bank code, again, probably just text. Okay, so it actually wasn't on that right field. So if you've made that mistake, you can just go in and delete the item, but for this case, that's still fine. So I click on bank code, and then I change it from any to text. Okay, great. So at this point, I can go close and load. It's going to bring all the data in. You can obviously prevent it from coming in if it's going to be more than 1 million rows. And so I've got that. You'll see here, I've got all 3 company data. Now, the interesting thing is if I go back into SharePoint or in Teams into that folder, and I upload files and I upload company 4. Once company 4 is loaded, you'll see that at the moment it's still showing 1, 2, 3. I'll go data, refresh all. And when I click the drop down, company 4 is in. So that's it. That's how to consolidate data. You've got one nice big data set. You can obviously name it better, etc., etc. And then you can insert a pivot table on that. And you can just, go show me the, let's go here, source name and the net amount. And let's say account name, add as a slicer. What is the bank value of bank fees? And getting those values. Obviously, my sample data is the same, but very quickly you can get to some great raw reporting. And that's it. That's how to do a consolidate feature using the SharePoint and get data. Hope that's helpful.